Hi there, my name's Rich and this is It's Adventure. Now, recently I accidentally bought this Defender 110. I say accidentally because at the moment I'm building out a studio for my wife, and whilst looking for the materials I found this on one of the auction sites, and it's a great truck, but there's a lot that he's sorting, and so today I'm going to sort out one of the jobs on it. Hopefully might even get a couple of the jobs sorted on it, but today I definitely need to sort this one because we're going to be travelling up the country in a bit, probably in a couple of weeks, and I'm going to probably have the dog in the back, and I'm a bit worried that the spare wheel that's in there, I've just tied it on at the moment with baling twine, and it is bouncing around all over the place, and I'm sure that sooner or later it's going to cut through that baling twine. I don't want it ended up flattening one of the dogs. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a bracket to hold the spare wheel in place. Now you get this, there are parts available to buy, but I thought, you know what's the fun in that? We're going to make one. I've got some threaded bar, I've got some tools in the garage. I'm sure we're going to knock something together. So that's what we're going to do. He's going to make a bracket to hold the spare wheel in place. It's had a right old battering, this has. So it looks like that's been hammered. So what I'll probably do, drill out these, drill out that rivet. We'll get some new rivets in place. Just get the drill. Taking some of this off. A bit of fettling with the frame. That does appear to be a bit, apart from this area, this is sealed, and this I think is only because it's been pulled forward that it isn't. I might have to get my persuader and put that back in again. But first let's see if we can drill these a bit more and get them out. That looks like the rivet is actually broken off. So it looks like I'm going to have to take this one out as well. Which is fortunate, because then I'll be able to get, if I take all of this out, because that was also a broken rivet, then I'll be able to get up here and access to these. So I think I'm just going to go bite the bullet, go for it. It should now just come off in one. Look at that. You see it's been mangled and bent up completely. This should be I think it should be relatively flat against this body, but it just isn't. This is one of those things where I thought it was going to be, pop a couple of rivets out, the thing fall off, put the new ones in, job's a good one. Nah, not the case. It's going to be one of those doing a Rubik's Cube inside of a cat jobs.
Taking the spare wheel mounting bracket over to the anvil, I decided to use various hammers to try and get the best of the bends out of it as best I could. It looked like it had been having some really heavy farm use. It looked like somebody had been using it to actually tow or carry some stuff on the back of the pickup. After a bit of bashing, I did manage to get it pretty damn flat. I was quite happy with the result. After that, took it over the back of the Defender and used some various wire wheel brushes to get the worst of the rust off and get it nice and clean, ready for some protection. The protection that I used on it was Hammerite. I used Hammerite gel first of all. Now this stuff acts on the rust and gets the worst of it away and converts it into more of a stable base. So painting the front and the back, gave it a good coating a couple of times and then left it to dry out before then attacking it with the Hammerite spray. With the Hammerite spray on there, it left it to be a really solid, good colour, ready to go back into the back of the Defender. Now the plate was painted, it's time to bang it in the back of the Defender and mock it up to see how it's all going to hang together.
Through here, and then we'll put a bar on that, hold it in place. That would be fine. Oh yeah, perfect. And those are good sized bolts as well.
After deciding on the length of the threaded bar that I needed and using the bolts to act as a protector for the threads, I cut it out to length using the angle grinder. With the bar cut to length, it was then time to work out how I'm going to get it to fit inside of the wall plate. So I decided to lock a couple of nuts together to make sure that they were perfectly flat, and then use those to guide it on either side of the bolt to make them perfectly perpendicular and flat. With the sides of the bolts flat and ready to go, it's a bit of jiggery pokery and a bit of pushing and shoving to get it finally seated in position. It seemed to work out quite nicely actually. I was quite pleased with the result. So then it's time to get it marked up and drilled, ready to put the retaining bolt into place. After going up through various drill sizes, I finally got it in position, happy and sorted, ready for the bolt to be put into position to lock it all up.
Oh. So I think I broke my rivet gun. The hand, and it stopped gripping.
Here he is, look, this is Rich at the end of the day where he doesn't know that his microphone's broken. He's got a broken rivet gun that he doesn't know about and a broken microphone that he has no clue about. So he's talking to you all about what he's going to do with the rest of this wheel fit, and we haven't got a clue what he's talking about. But anyway, I'll let you know that it has been done, and this is what it looks like now.
There we go then. All bolted in position and nice and secure. I'm dead chuffed with that. I've got the threaded bar and I've got a couple of bolts on there. So in the same way that I use the bolts to lock together to then flatten out the sides of the bar as I was milling them down, I've done the same thing again to keep the spare wheel locked in position in the back of the truck there. Neat. Better than baling twine, that's for sure.